We've got some exciting new details on an Xbox exclusive, Bloodbath. Oh, wait, that's not a game. That's what insiders are calling the actions being taken at Xbox, who are gutting some of their beloved studios.
And we've also finally got some fresh GTA 6 news. Maybe it's not what we wanted, but it's still exciting. We're going to talk about all this and a whole bunch more right now on Gaming News Weekly. What's up, everybody? It's time for another episode of Gaming News Weekly, the best weekly video game news show out there. Every single week, we're bringing you all the biggest news from the video game industry. You can find us on YouTube and podcast services everywhere. My name is Erect the Red, joined, as always, by this gentleman, Full Clip. What's up, dude? How are you?
What's up? Doing all right? How are you?
I'm great. I'm not as much looking forward to this episode as normal because it is just bummer news after bummer news. But it's all stuff that needs to be talked about. You know, we're doing the service here.
But we've got some exciting new releases to talk about and demos and things like that.
Exactly. That's the fun stuff. Shit that I've been playing, new releases, but we are going to get into a whole bunch of stuff going down at Xbox. So, buckle up. It's not pretty. But yeah, other than that, I am great. It's beautiful out. No complaints. What's going on with you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, same here. Tonight's chili night, so I'm looking forward to some spicy-ass chili.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You go extra spicy when you make it?
I like it right in the middle. Because my issue is that when I eat hot things, I sweat profusely. And then I'm like, I'm dealing with like my whole body just sweating and I'm eating. And it's not like a combination that I really enjoy. I'm like blotting my mouth with the same thing I'm blotting my sweat with. It's not great, you know.
Yeah, you start messing with like habanero or something, you start to get like that into your pores and that's a bad time.
Uh-huh. Yeah. No, but it is, I'll take it occasionally. But, if I'm looking to just enjoy my meal, give me something right in the middle. Also, my wife doesn't really like spice, so it's a compromise. But,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Exciting. As far as
what have you been up to?
Yeah, this past week, not really played anything new, but something new to me. TCG Card Shop Simulator. I finally picked it up because they had a little sale over there for like $7 for it. It's had a year of updates, so I do remember watching a lot of this. I actually played a mobile version of this that existed before this. It's got to be by the same developers because it's the same Tetramon card game in it, the same artwork and everything.
Sure.
So I didn't know that it was the same thing until this came out and I started watching people play it. And it seems like in that year they've done quite a bit to add to the game because now there's like this whole tabletop gaming side of things. And I'm not quite there yet because everything is so expensive to buy like the licensing to be able to sell the stuff in your store. But I'm looking forward to being able to unlock like the second half of the shop and either throw my storage back there or start putting out like more tabletop gaming stuff and seeing what the customers do inside of there. So far, having a lot of fun with it. I'm not sure if this is a game I'm even going to attempt to 100%. But, once I get down to like the last 5 or so achievements, we'll see what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, I played this too. It didn't have a ton of content when I played it, and I was like, I played it for quite a bit, and I just looked. I have 2.9 hours, so not as much as I thought. But I enjoyed it when I played it. But again, they didn't have. Just looking at this video now, it already looks like they have so much more content than when I was doing it. So I'm gonna jump back in. It looks cool. I can't believe the reviews on it. Jesus, 97% of 32,617 reviews. That's crazy for this little, card shop simulator game. So yeah, that's cool. I liked it when I was playing. I didn't know whether I wanted to collect the cards or sell the cards though, so it was the whole thing. I did, you got to make that decision.
Yeah,
I did like ripping the packs though. Yeah.
Yeah, it is fun, but it's like I don't know what I'm looking for. honestly.
Yeah.
I think it would be easier if I did install like the Pokemon mod or something, because then at least I know like
Oh yeah.
what's somewhat rare, what's somewhat coveted, and maybe I'll start with the collection.
There's a Pokemon mod, huh? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'll have to check that out more. Because yeah, I kind of just fizzled out on it. So, um, this week has been so it's one of my favorite times. It is Steam Next Fest week. That's going on until honestly until this releases. So some of the demos may still be available. Usually they're available for a week or a few weeks after this week. And I got to play. I've played about 8 demos. I'm going to talk real fast, speed run about my 5 favorite. Well, I played about 10, but a few of those were, that were not really part of Steam Next Fest. They just had demos on. But anyways, 5 of them I loved, and they are. We talked about this one once before. Restory, chill electronics repair. This one, you're repairing phones, Ataris, Game Boys, like any like small electronics, like, and it's from like it's all dated, like you're flipping the Razor phone, the flip phone, you're fixing that up, or Atari 2600 and joysticks and stuff like so. But it's very true to I'm assuming what they are. Atari has like lent its license to these. There are like PlayStation Vitas that you could get, but they're called like ponies or something instead of Sony. But anyways, you have to like this little truck, and there's just people bringing you stuff, and you clean it up, and you repair it, and you got to buy the license to fix these things up, and all these things. It's a great game. The demo has a ton of content already, like that you could play a few hours worth of just fixing up these different things. So sometimes you need parts, and you could choose to either go buy like another broken version of this, depending on what's broken with it, and disassemble that and take its parts, or you could go buy the individual parts from like it's all like from your computer. It's really cool, dude. I think you specifically are going to love it because it's like, I mean, you do this shit in real life. So I definitely check it out because yeah, I think you'll be, I mean, again,
Yeah.
You'll be like, this is not real. This is but it's my way of living your life. This should be called a full clip simulator. It needs more guns, but it's still, I think you'd like it. Check it out. Any questions on it before I move on to my next one?
No, but I will just comment that, that's the beauty of the simulator genre, is that it's an idealized version of it. So I don't think I'd have fun with a simulator game that was completely true to life. I want to take out 4 screws, dust it with the little duster, put the screws back in, and we're done. And we've made money, and we've made XP.
Speaking of which, they have that new car mechanics simulator. It has a demo out now. I didn't know if you saw that. You're probably just going to get
I tried playing it. I didn't have the best time with it, but I don't know. I'm just going to wait for the full-on release and start playing that.
Sure. Okay, next, another game called Well Dweller. This is by the same creator of Crypt Custodian and Islets. He's like very well known in the indie game community, but this is a Metroidvania very similar to Hollow Knight in terms of like kind of the aesthetic, but he plays like a tiny little bird, and it's just like it's really a beautiful looking game. The gameplay is fun. It's a very, very well made Metroidvania. Just from this demo, I'm excited to get in there and be able to play the full one because it doesn't seem as punishing as like Hollow Knight is, where that one's more the platforming and everything needs to be precise. This one's a little bit more floaty, a little bit more, not as punishing. So that one, very enjoyable game. I tried a game called Cozy Cleaner, which this one it was probably my least favorite out of these, but still very interesting for what it is. So it's a very cozy game, but it's got like these dioramas that like it's like a cleaning type simulator, but it's you're from afar and you got to like pick up all the trash and then mop up and put things in their place. So it has like that kind of thing. If you like that kind of, putting things away and kind of cleaning things up and then moving on to the next one, it's like great for that. That one, it it only has currently a keyboard, mouse and keyboard build. So I was playing it on my Steam Deck, and it was like a little bit. The UI was a little bit more difficult. So that one I could see enjoying more once it gets controller support. And then my two favorites. One game is called Shroom and Gloom, and this is a first-person roguelite deck builder. They're calling it a double deck builder because you have two different decks. You have one for like your exploring, so like you'll pick up like a key or a shovel, and it's all in the form of cards, and you could use that shovel to dig up like treasure, and then it might be something like a hammer or whatever, because then you'll come to a locked door and you could either like use the key or a hammer or something, but by using that you're spending that card. So it's a really cool dynamic there. And then you'll come into combat scenarios and you have different cards that you use, that you find either in the treasure or whatever, that you use for your combat. And it's all like this beautiful hand-drawn art, and it's rendered in like it's like everything's flat, but it's a 3D world. It's really, really hard to explain. Look at if you're watching on YouTube, there you can watch the video that's posted here, because it's so. I've been following them on TikTok since this, and I was instantly drawn to the look of it, and I'm happy to say that not only does it look cool, but the gameplay is also fantastic. As for a deck builder, it's simple, but difficult at times to be able to figure out how to defend and stuff like that. So yeah, very much enjoy that one. And then lastly, my favorite one, it kind of took me by surprise because it's not really my style game. It's called Silver Pines. And this is a survival horror game. It's set in the early 90s. It's got this 2D, basically you're just going left and right on the screen, but it's got it's very 3D in the way that it is drawn, and you're just going through, and you're a private detective and you're trying to find this person, but you have to. It reminds me, it's definitely a Metroidvania in that you'll find keys or ways to open up previous areas, so you have to go back and forth throughout this area, but then there's like you're on like this island that has been not quarantined, but like there's a storm coming, so everybody left, but now so you're by yourself, but there's like these zombies now coming at you. So it's very much got some Silent Hill vibes, some Resident Evil vibes, in that like you have to find like herbs. You have to like your save stations are pay phones, and you have to like have $1 to put in or a coin to put in the pay phone to like save the game, which is really interesting. So resources are very, very scarce for like healing, and like limited amount of bullets. You have to repair your weapons. Like your first weapon is like a box cutter, but then you find duct tape and you could repair it and stuff like that. So it's really like the resource aspect of it is so cool. And it's linear enough where, you realize like, oh shit, I have this box cutter now. I could go back to this area and explore more. So I'm super excited for the full release on that one. So yeah, those are my favorites that I've played so far. I'm gonna have like 5 more next week because I have a whole bunch more that I want to talk about, but I'm like, I don't want to like take up the whole time. So those are my 5 favorites from this week. So yeah. Jeez. Yeah. Any questions?
I had to look up Silver Pines here. I wanted to get a feel for what it looked like because I hadn't heard of that one. And amongst the like dozen or so housing developments and condos and everything else called Silver Pines, I do see some screenshots here. So it's looking kind of like a more serious like Limbo meets Silent Hill or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the design of it is really cool. Like the monsters are scary. There's jump scares in the thing. It's yeah, it very much took me by surprise because when I was reading that it's like limited resources and like survival stuff, I was like, no. But like it's really fun. And it's cool, and the writing is really good too. So I'm enjoying the story so far. So yeah, I'm very eager to like when I finish the demo, I'm gonna have to wait for the full thing now, So yeah, it's been fun. I think what do I got for? I don't know. I got a bunch more that I'm excited to bring on to the show next week. I don't remember what they were, but yeah, I will. I'll report back. All right, that is it for that segment. Next segment is our new releases from last week. All right, first thing we got to mention, Pokemon Champions came out for the for mobile devices, iOS and Android. Now you could, have your Pokemon battles on the go, and everything I've heard is that it works much better this time around than it did on the release for the Switch, and all the reviews are glowing. So if that's something that intrigues you, you want to battle, you could do it now anywhere on iOS and Android devices. So, you gonna get back in there?
I was a little curious whether. I don't think so. I was curious whether it would have like cross progression though between mobile now and.
I think it
Switch.
does. Yeah, I think it's like it's all tied to like your Pokemon home. So like all the Pokemon that you've found in the games that you've like captured and put in the Pokemon home, you could use. Otherwise, like you can. There are a limited, not all of them. There's a limited amount of Pokemon that are available, and that was the biggest issue when it first came out. Was like people wanted, more different Pokemon. So there is a limited amount that you could use right off the bat. But there you go. It's out there now, everywhere. And then next up, Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales came out on June 18th. This is the latest Square Enix role-playing game. It's from the people that did Octopath Traveler, and it's the same kind of art style. It's that HD 2D where it's like it looks like it's so 2D and so HD that it's 3D. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how they do it. It's magic on the screen. But where this one differs, though, is that it is real-time, like hack and slash fighting. It's not turn-based like those previous games. So it looks very similar to that, but once you get into the combat, it's you're running around on the screen and you're doing the attacks that way. And the fighting style sounds cool. So you have 7 different weapons, and like you could dual wield, and you could swap them out on the go. So it depended on like the battle that you're in, you could change them. And then you have like a fairy that is like with you that does like magic. They do spells and healing, and that fairy can be played by a friend in co-op. So I think it's a really cool idea. It's currently at an 81 on OpenCritic. So yeah, it's interesting. These Square Enix JRPGs, like I'm never really drawn to them because they're always like 150-hour like games. So it's a little much for me, but they look cool. Right? I feel like you're going to agree with my sentiment.
Yeah. And I think this one must be building hype because on our little new release tracking site that I like to use to see what's coming out and coming up, it went from like the standard category to the very popular category, like slowly. I've kind of watched it change over the past week. So I don't know. People are just like tuning in to the fact that this is coming out and it's a Square Enix title.
Yeah. It's funny too. Yeah. Because in February when we did our fantasy draft, one of my friends who's obsessed with every single JRPG, he picked this, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what? Adventures of Elliot? What is this game? And a decent pick, 81. So yeah, I had never heard of it, and yeah, it definitely did pick up. I think once people started seeing it and seeing what it was, it definitely picked up a little momentum. So, and then. Lastly, Sand Raiders of Sophie came out on PC on June 22nd. We talked about this a few weeks ago from the Summer Games Fest. This is the PvPvE extraction first-person shooter game. But this one, you have these giant machines called tramplers that you take them out into the world. First, you build them. You design and build with resources that you find in the world, and then you take your walking war machine out into the world and try to get more resources to build it up more and expand that. So a really cool idea. The designs are really cool that I've seen that people can create these things and take them out there into the world. And then there's a few different modes, which I thought was cool. There's like this chill like mode where like you just go out there, low tier, things that you find And then there's another one where it's much more intense. There's a lot more other people out in the world, but the things that you get, the rewards are a lot higher tier. So I think that's pretty cool. You know, you could just, however you feel like doing it that day, you could play the game. So I know this was one that you were intrigued about. What are your thoughts on this now that we're looking at the release?
Yeah. Just need to, see how people are perceiving this and what the reviews look like in like a week or two when this
Yeah.
comes out. I'm obviously attracted by it. I want to see how close it is to like the Mad Max combat, how close it is to like Crossout. Have you played that one? The like free to play?
No, I've seen videos of it. I've never played it myself, though.
Gotcha. Similar in concept, just smaller scale, I think, on like you're building like car-sized cars into behemoths.
Mm.
But piecing this stuff together, you're going out there and you're fighting for the resources and fuel, and that's exactly what this sounds like. Just thinking on a larger scale.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the idea of it. I really do hope it can have the player base to keep it going because it's pretty cool. But yeah, like you said, I'm interested to see reviews of it. It does come out like from this recording in like a day, and there are no reviews yet, which has me a little worried. But we'll see. Hopefully, hopefully it's not the reason that there's no reviews. All right, that is it for our new releases. Let's get into our news of the week. All right, the big news this week, the shit has hit the fan at Xbox. There's been a lot going on. And this has all come out. Most of this information is from Jason Schreier from Bloomberg. He's kind of been reporting on a lot of a lot of turmoil currently in Xbox. We read that that memo last week from Asha Sharma, and she's really trying to build back Xbox from square one, basically. So with that comes layoffs, and this started, we heard about the closure of Ninja Theory, the creators of like the Hellblade games, the Senua games. And then, that nothing came out official about that. And then we started hearing more about closure for Compulsion Games. Those are the people that did South of Midnight, and then Double Fine. They did Psychonauts, most recently Keeper and Kiln. But now we're seeing that they're giving them opportunities instead of just shuttering them, instead of just closing them, opportunities to buy themselves back from Xbox and go independent. Still going to be a ton of layoffs because they're not owned by this umbrella of Microsoft, of Xbox. So it's not good any way you look at it. Hopefully, though, those three companies, which I am a huge fan of, can figure something out and come away without having to just completely close. Because when Compulsion or Ninja Theory they're like, we just saw the trailer for the new Senua game at the Summer Games Fest, and now they're closing the studio.
Yeah.
And I think Jason Schreier, someone was saying that was their opportunity to kind of show the world, like, this is what we could do, invest in us, because we don't want to close. So, pretty crazy. On top of that, Xbox Game Studio head Craig Duncan, he stepped down. So there's been a lot going on, and now coming up, there's even further rumors, ZeniMax layoffs coming, and all this is supposedly happening by June 30th, which is the end of the financial year for Xbox. So we'll see what's going to be coming. What are your thoughts on this whole thing?
Gosh, I'm a little bit flabbergasted. I'm not like a business expert, but okay, how does the company, when they make their money, how separate is that from their ownership? Like, I don't know how much money goes to Xbox when a company that they own makes money. I don't know how they have the money to buy themselves back from Xbox, especially considering whatever Xbox probably paid for them or what they might be asking to buy themselves back into an independent studio. That's all beyond me. then it seems like dirty dealings to be promoting stuff that you know is about to be shut down on the part of Xbox, because I mean people are going to watch these upcoming projects and be deciding whether or not they want to invest in Xbox or not. And if you think that the next best thing is right around the corner, you put your money into that company, and they say, "Nah, just kidding, we're closing that studio." Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. Seems like shady dealings. But at the same
Yeah.
time, I think this is the same thing we always talk about. These big companies, gaming or not, love to have these massive layoffs right at the end. That way, they start the next fiscal year like way lower on the budget, and then they bloat, and rinse and repeat. And
Right.
it's a cycle to get more investment and for numbers to look better at the cost of your workers, and
Yep.
that's shitty.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, the whole thing is shitty. I want to read, so like I said, Jason Schreier's been reporting on this. He's got a great video on YouTube that you can watch, and it's all about this whole thing. And there was one snippet that I want to read real fast, quote from him. He says, "A lot of these studios made plenty of their own mistakes, but in a lot of ways, they're being punished today for following orders, for listening to what they were told a few years ago. And that is just a shame. And what is going to happen is pretty brutal. The word bloodbath has been thrown around among people I talk to who know about what's going to happen. It's going to be bad. And one of the reasons Xbox studios have struggled to make great games over the past decade is this uncertainty. It's really hard to make great art when working under the fear of layoffs and turbulence and cancellations and shutdowns." So that's great. Like, kind of going along with what you said, it's a rinse and repeat situation, and they can't, for fear of putting themselves out there and making something artistic or great or something that costs a little bit more. They don't want to do that because they want to stay within the constraints of what is going to make Xbox money, what is going to, be okay for them. So it's got to be tough to have to worry about being let go the whole time you're trying to come up with something, or when you're working. Like, that fear is crazy. So yeah, man, it sucks. The whole thing is just really unfortunate. And I've been seeing a lot of people, like, so there's so much backlash towards Xbox now. Now I get it. This, like, the new CEO comes in, she's got a big job. Turn around a floundering gaming company that has been not doing well the past few years. And like, she's trying to make a change, make a difference, make a mark. Um, it's too early to tell if this is something that can turn Xbox around, or if if this is the beginning of the end for Xbox. I've seen a lot of complaints saying that, like, by not allowing Gears of War, E-Day, and Clockwork Revolution to be PlayStation games, that they're basically putting them out there to die. They're not going to market them. It's just like, to be part of an Xbox studio title now nobody wants that, because we see the way that they handle their studios, and as far as like what are they going to spend to market these and stuff like that when they're in this huge cost cutting measures. So that's another thing that's pretty crazy to think too, that these companies that have done exactly what they've been told to do, aren't going to get the reward for doing a great job too. So
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we've got some problems in the industry. So one thing that I wanted to bring up real quick that we don't have in the document, because it's mostly like speculation, I guess. They're saying that the next PlayStation, the PS6, is further off than people were initially saying. And I have to think the same as it can be said about the next Xbox, just because,
Yeah.
first of all, the price of everything, all these components to make these new things, we see what's happening with Steam's promised PC console, whatever you want to call it. And the same has to be true across the board with all these new systems. That, and the fact that it somehow feels like, even though we're 5 or 6 years into this cycle of consoles, it feels like we barely cracked the surface as far as anything being on them and adoption of them. I know a lot of people who are still probably playing PS4s and the regular Xbox Ones.
Yep.
It's just not, people haven't shifted over there. We haven't been given enough time, and then you're telling us you're about to cram down the next thing down our throat that we're going to have if we want to play the couple of games that are actually going to come out there. So, I'm wondering, is that a better thing for the industry coming up if these new console launches are put down the road a few years. We let people get in this environment. We let new games come out and console exclusives. We give people the time to pick up the console, to buy the Xbox, to then want Gears of War, and then to want, the next
Right.
Spider-Man on PlayStation, and on and on.
Yeah. And I think that they need to, I think we're going to realize that this year that, yeah, because of the crazy cost of the components of these, I do think that they're going to shift away from focusing on making that console and maybe put more games out on the current console. And I hope that's the case, because I do think that it's, like you said, there's been very, very few like real current gen exclusives this time around. Like there's not a ton. So yeah, I would love to see them focus more on making games for what we have, and not, because again, yeah, I don't know where we're going to be in this industry with inflation across the board. Like, can the regular gamer afford a new console now? I don't think so, especially not if they're going to be asking the prices that we think they're going to be asking for these. Like Asha Sharma did say that the planned Project Helix, which is supposed to be a high-end luxury console that does PC gaming as well as console gaming, they have to go back to the drawing board because they don't see it being a viable option currently in this market. Right. So yeah, the whole industry is going to be changing, and I don't know if it's for the better or for the worse, but I mean, with the amount of layoffs, like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm very interested to see what happens to Rockstar after GTA 6 comes out. I think that's going to need to, I mean, it's $1 billion. It's cost like $1 billion to make, is what I'm hearing. Like, that's insane. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's something needs to change in this industry. And we are seeing a lot more games being released, even throughout all the bullshit that's happening. A lot more indie games, which I think is great. But I just don't know how viable it is as an indie game designer or creator of a industry to like have this be your job anymore, So I don't know, but it's crazy. It's a bummer. So yeah. Anything else on that?
Nah, I don't want to cry. Let's just.
I know. It's just a bummer, man. Like, what does this even mean for us? Now that the industry's going to shit. Two heads of the video game journalist industry.
It doesn't matter. Positive, negative. We'll put a spin on it.
Yeah, exactly. We got this. Before we get off of Xbox, I just want to mention they announced the Wave 2 for Game Pass for June. Games available this month. Junkster is a day one game that is out now. 3D action platformer with an awesome building mechanic. I haven't looked at a video of this or anything. I just read this blurb before we started, and it sounds great. And I think I'm going to go download it right after this. A plucky little construction bot has crashed on a dangerous junkyard planet. Armed only with his trusty robo-wrench, he must repair his ship and recover his lost cargo of precious human artifacts. Doesn't that sound adorable and enjoyable? And then the rest of the lineup, let's see. Call of Duty Vanguard is available now. EA Sports FC 26 is available now. Abyssus comes out June 25th. What is that? Fast-paced 1 to 4 player FPS and roguelike brine punk adventure. All right. RV There Yet comes out June 30th. That's like a friend slot game. And then Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 comes out July 2nd. And Winds of Arcana Ruination comes out July 6th. So, yeah, the only day one title this roundabout is that Junkster. And then, real quick, Leaving at the end of the month. Mecha Break, Payday 2, Rise of Tomb Raider, Slay the Spire, Ultimate Chicken Horse, Volcano Princess, and Unpacking. So, seems like more games are leaving than coming to the thing. But, yeah, Junkster, dude. All that matters is we're getting Junkster.
Yeah, and a good brine punk game. I had to look that up. It's It's an emerging subgenre closely related to steampunk, defined by a deep-sea nautical theme with a mysterious glowing substance called brine powers the world's technology.
That's
Didn't know that.
amazing. Man, we're learning new stuff today. Um, very exciting. All right, next, before we get into some more cheerful news, we should just mention real quick that Ubisoft co-founder Claude Guillemot has passed away this past week in a plane accident. He was 69. He's the brother of Yves Guillemot, the current CEO of Ubisoft. So yeah, bummer. Rich people and planes should not be allowed to have them, or helicopters. Because I mean, how many what is happening?
Yeah,
So, yeah.
There was just another plane crash in my state the other night. 2 people dead, like an hour from here. It's crazy.
What is going on with these things?
Planes are falling out of the sky.
Yeah, I won't be flying anywhere. But yeah, bummer. He started the whole company, has moved. He wasn't currently involved in the video game part. He was in a different section of their big conglomerate. But still one of the founders. Pour one out for Claude Guillemot. I do like to say their name. Anytime we talk about Ubisoft, I just know that I'm going to be saying Guillemot at some point. I get really excited.
Oh, yeah.
All right, now onto the fun, exciting, hopeful news. We finally got more information on GTA 6. Now, I know you've been wanting this new trailer. We've been saying like any day now, right? Like we called this last week. We're like, trailer's coming soon. We didn't get the trailer. We did not get. We got a picture of the cover art, which what we'd expect: guns, cars, alligators. But we did get confirmation that November 19th is the confirmed release date. It's not moving anymore. And then pre-orders start June 25th. That was pretty much it. No other info, no price info, no availability confirmation. We're still assuming just PlayStation 5 and Xbox. No announcement for PC or Nintendo Switch 2. So, yeah. Was this too vague for you? You wanted more?
No, I mean, it's a start because we know that the pre-order is going to come out on the 25th, and you can almost expect that there may be the next trailer at that point, or more screenshots or a web experience or something.
That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, when they do the pre-orders, they should have a trailer. Yeah, that makes sense. It's crazy that, I don't pre-order games. And I know, I've never pre-ordered games, so it's not a big thing to me. But still, the fact that so many people still pre-order games is crazy. But I know, sometimes there's cool, special things that they give you when you pre-order. I've done that before.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably a safe bet for this one to pre-order. I don't think it's going to be a shitty game.
Right. We're going to find out what the price is once and for all. A lot of speculation that it's going to be $100. I'm in it for $100, and I have to buy 2 copies. Ask me 20 years ago if I would pay that much for a video game, and probably not. It would have been unthinkable. But
yeah.
But $1 billion to develop the greatest media spectacle of our time so far. I'm in it for $100. I'm in it for 2 copies. That being said, if all of the other companies come out thinking they can do the same exact thing with their yearly copy and paste sports title and Call of Duty and everything else, fuck off. We're not going to pay for it. And they can, figure that out the hard way if they choose.
Yeah.
This is the one-off. This is the one that I will pre-order. It makes 0 sense to pre-order in the digital age of games, except for the exclusives. And the reason I would do it, and probably not on June 25th, but maybe a week before the game comes out, is preloading the game.
Sure.
So I will 100% do it just to be able to preload the game, especially how long it's going to take me to download it.
Right. Or if they give you an extra, pre-order, you get 3 days early or something,
Yeah.
you'll be in there early doing it for sure. Yeah, man, I'm excited to see what the cost is. I think if it's anything less than $100, people are going to be psyched because it's kind of what
Yeah.
the expectation now has been set at $100. So I think if they come out and say $79.99, yeah, that's fire. I think people are gonna be really excited. So we're getting close, dude. We're getting close. November 19th. This is a short 5 months away.
Yeah.
So yeah, crazy. And then we'll have to figure out what the next game is immediately after that, right? That's how this industry works. You know, as soon as that game comes out, we start looking forward to the next one, which I don't know what that's going to be, but yeah,
I don't know. You know, the next biggest blockbuster will probably be a Rockstar title unless something goes terribly wrong with this one.
right.
And I don't know that it's going to be a Red Dead title since they've been just kind of flip-flopping back and forth.
Yeah,
We may even see something different. We may see a return to like Bully or some other
Mm-hmm.
Rockstar franchise.
yeah, yeah. It's exciting. But yeah, it's all happening. June 25th pre-orders. So we'll be talking about next week, I'm sure. Hopefully you get like what do you think? They'll send you like real drugs and a gun if you pre-order like the special
Yeah.
special edition,
There's
the
a
limited
kilo.
edition. It's like yeah, it's real. It's a real handgun and cocaine. The $1,000 special edition, Miami special. So yeah, man, everybody's gonna be and it's nice too to be able to get like it's gonna be just starting to get cold November 19th. Perfect time to take a little vacation in Florida. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited. As a non GTA guy, I'm excited. All right. Anything else?
Hey, how's that Red Dead Redemption 2 coming along?
Shit! No,
You ever-
I forgot about
you
it,
ever
dude.
start
I
on that?
installed it. I installed it. But I appreciate the reminder. I do appreciate the reminder because I have not been playing anything. My PlayStation has been my son's. Like I haven't been playing anything on it at all. So that I forgot about that one. I forgot that I installed it. So I'm gonna do that this week. I'm making a note
Nice.
because I think as soon as I start it, I think I'm gonna be like into it. You know, I just gotta get into it
Yeah.
and start the whole thing. So yeah, I'll do that. I have a whole bunch of games that I keep like I was like I'm gonna play my PlayStation and because I still haven't finished Dispatch, which like that's an easy one to finish, you know, but I haven't done it. I've been just kind of like savoring it. So I was like, I'm gonna go on and finish that, and then I just was like, I don't know. I ended up just staring at my phone for like hours and just not doing anything.
Oh.
So or playing
How it goes.
demos on my Steam Deck. But yeah, I'll get to it. I promise. Red Dead Redemption. All right. Well, on that, let's get out of here. Thanks so much for checking out this episode of Gaming News Weekly. Even though it was a big bummer of an episode, I feel like it's not, you know, it's the first of many this coming season.
Yeah.
But, you know, we still had fun. We still had fun. Go check us out on Pop Culture Playground. That's our YouTube channel. You can subscribe there. That way, again, you can see all these trailers of these fun games we're talking about. You could see full clip shedding tears throughout the entire episode as we talk about layoffs and GTA 6. He cries every time we mention GTA 6. But if that's not your thing, if you're afraid of bearded men crying, you could just listen to the show anywhere podcasts are found. If you just type in GNW into the search engine, this show will come up. Make sure you subscribe there. That way, every week it's ready for you on your device of choice. That way, you just listen on the go and up to date on all the news from the video game industry. And yeah. And then, you know, check us out on TikTok. Trying to do more there. So that's fun. You know, you could see a bunch of weird video game people just talking shit to us, that seems to be all TikTok is. So that's fun. It's fun. We love it. But yeah, that's all I got. Anything else?
I think that's it.
That's it. All right. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.